We're the Bloomington South Young Democrats of Indiana, and we stand in firm opposition to the appointment of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court because we know it will have long-lasting effects for all of our generation.
As a young woman and student, it is clear that advocacy for issues such as women's rights and gun control legislation are becoming increasingly apparent and extremely necessary. Judge Kavanaugh has expressed explicit opposition to safe abortion rights and has spoken in support of general accessibility of semi-automatic weapons. Because of this, I oppose the appointment of Judge Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
The appointment of Judge Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court would greatly affect the future of the environment. His appointment enables him to remove restrictions or declare restrictions on greenhouse gases and other hazardous pollutants unconstitutional. As a young person and a member of future generations, this greatly affects my future and the future of my peers.
I urge you to vote against appointing Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, because if appointed, he will strip away healthcare protections that my family and others need to survive. In addition, he has already sided with Big Pharma over consumers, and if he's given the chance to do so on the Supreme Court, he will do it again. This would be disastrous for Obamacare and for Americans who depend on Obamacare as their source of health care.
I don't feel safe in my school. I don't feel safe because of the gun laws. That's why the guards are at my school, because anyone can easily buy a gun and use it for their own wanting. I shouldn't feel this anxious. We need to stop these gun laws. This is why I oppose Judge Kavanaugh from our Supreme Court.
All women, including young women like myself, have a right to decide what's right for their body. This is not the government's job. Access to safe, legal abortions and birth control are fundamental women's rights and human rights. Therefore, I oppose the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh's hearings are officially over, and in 2 days the official decision of his appointment to be on the Supreme Court will be made. In the past, Kavanaugh has acknowledged that man-made global warming is a real issue facing our nation. However, he is a huge supporter of greenhouse gas industries, so he does not support the attempts to attack climate change. If appointed as a Supreme Court justice, Kavanaugh will side with other Republican justices and deny the Environmental Protection Agency's attempts to regulate pollution. That is why we must deny Judge Kavanaugh's appointment to the Supreme Court of the United States.
The Supreme Court has the capacity to rule on the future of affirmative action in both educational and workplace settings. As I embark on my own college admissions process, I've come to recognize the importance of elevating the voices of historically marginalized populations. Because I see the continued practice of affirmative action as a crucial step in our country's goal of equality, racial equality specifically, I am strongly opposed to the appointment of Judge Kavanaugh onto our Supreme Court.
With each passing year, it becomes more and more crucial to be conscientious about the environment. People like Brett Kavanaugh seek to exploit the government for personal financial gain and then leave problems that future generations will have to attend to.